Yo, what up? Welcome to Trading Unfiltered. Happy Monday. What up, big dog?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Well, wild day, wild day.
Tell me about it.
We came out okay.
Yeah, we come out good.
Came out good, but we went on a ride today.
No doubt.
Took the roller coaster up and took the roller coaster down, but that's part of the game sometimes. And today we took that ride in full. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about our trades, break them down, good, bad, ugly, keep it real, unfiltered, the usual. So let's get into it.
Hit it.
Oh, I gotta get hydrated before this one.
Yeah, I need to hydrate myself.
Okay, well, let's just Mondays, for me, FOMO can be a little real on Mondays. You ain't push buttons all weekend. You get into Monday, you're real excited. And sometimes FOMO bug gets you. And it got me a little bit today. And actually on the trades I'm gonna show today, I've talked about it in the room, New Age Wall Street. I've talked about it with you, but I've been doing like a little pre-market or write it open, like tiny size, like could be 10 shares, could be a share, just something to like chill me out, get me in, get it on my position screen, whatever. But yeah, man, FOMO got me a little bit today. Worked out. But yeah, Mondays are tough.
I know, man.
But anyway,
Especially when you want one to work out and you get it in your head the way it's gonna work and then it doesn't.
Yeah, and we toyed with the VLON early this morning, and that kind of set the precedence, I think, for some of at least my other trades and yours too, from what we talked about. Like we kind of got wicked a little bit on Blon, and anyway, let's break some shit down, go over some trades, and here we go. For those of you that don't know, that little thing there gives me just enough time to get my screenshot ready.
There you go.
All right. This was our first trade for both of us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna kind of go over mine first. I know you traded it too, and we traded it somewhat similar, but so mine, right? Let me get in here. So this thing here, this is what I was talking about. I've been doing this lately. It's been helping me tremendously. It doesn't look good for Twitter, but I don't care. This was 10 shares, literally nothing. But I've been doing this on these gappers, or sometimes I do it right at pre-market open just to kind of bite the FOMO bug. And for me, that's been helping. And it puts it on my position window. That way it gets my montage and hotkeys like tied to it. So I have been liking that. Like I said, it was literally 10 shares, but it gets it on my montage, gets it in my hotkeys, bites my FOMO bug. So for me, it's been a positive thing. So I've been doing that lately. I think I started doing that like, what was it, early this year? Something like that. So we can kind of ignore that, but that's what that is. So anyway, we talked about this trade pre-market. We wanted it at $1, and really, this was a starter. We wanted it $1, and we were wanting a raid of dollar stop losses. We wanted it to break pre-market high, but not only just break pre-market high, we wanted it to break $1 and raid those stop losses at $1, $1.01, $1.02, and it did. But it went. I mean, it had some serious strength. Like it had some volume pumped into that. This is a 1 minute chart. So in 1 minute, this thing pumped out 4.5 million in volume in that one candle. So when I saw that, I just went ahead and exited. I wasn't full size, but I still got out. And then two, this was right before the halt band. So got out before the halt band, saw that volume, was like, all right, let me just see what happens after the halt. Entered in after the halt, and then it was still showing some strength. So I took some off. And then this is what was annoying because this is what set the pace for me, I guess, on the day, is because I got in, but I took some off. Essentially, I got wicked out of some size, which is pretty irritating because it worked out, right? This was like a 20% move. It doesn't look like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot because it's a low price ticker, but this was a 20% move. And I don't have the full chart. You might have the full chart because I know you're going to show yours too for the whole day. But it bounced off 190 pretty hard. Or I'm sorry, not 190. Bounced off 90 pretty hard and chopped around. So I wasn't even mad at this exit. But I was mad that it kind of wicked me out of some size.
Oh, it didn't just bounce off 90. It hit it right there under VWAP. You know, I didn't get to that 1 minute 200. Maybe it did.
Yeah. I
And
think
then-
at the end of the day, maybe at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
the day, it fell off hard. But before that, this thing chopped around and whatever. So I wasn't mad to be done with it at 90.
Well, it got almost all the way down to 80. I think it might have hit 80. And
I think so.
But before that, after you exited, it made a move all the way back up to like 118, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I think your chart will show that. But this was it for me. That was a full out exit. Pretty irritating that I wicked out of some size. Part of it, it is what it is. It worked out. Like this was still a solid trade, but I hate that I wicked out because this could have been a really nice winner had I not wicked out of some size there. But this trade was solid, but it also kind of set the tone for me on future trades. And this is why we say it's good to have somewhat of a short-term memory, from one trade to the next, because of the wick action on this, it caused me to be a little early in some other trades. And that kind of come back to bite me. But I know you have Vlon too, but that's my Vlon chart. This is it for me. That was a full out exit. Decent start to the day. Went a lot higher than I think we anticipated. But
yeah, man, we were talking it up in the room. We were like, I was like, man, come on. We just were talking about it nonstop, and
yep.
I was thinking it was going to be what I wanted, but
it's that Monday FOMO bug, man. But I think we played. Risk management was good. Worked out on the back end. But I know you traded Vlon. You got your Vlon chart, right?
Yeah. Here's this ugly thing.
No, I wanted to see this because it did go down below 90, but it was choppy. So tough one.
Yeah, man. So in pre-market, I hit it there, and I ended up hitting it like half size. I was like, what am I doing? And so it dropped down a little bit, like right before open, and I just covered it all. And so in these 3 arrows, I'm getting full size. And this is right before the halt, which was dumb. So I don't know if you can tell, but right here, I'm covering half after the halt. And then I was just shaken up because, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And I didn't stop out before the halt. And then right here, I took it all off.
That pretty much get you break even?
Roundabout. I mean, I didn't make any money on this, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You could say break even or
small right after fees and locates or something.
Yeah, man. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it
was a tricky one, and obviously the whole day, and this is why I said I wasn't mad at my 90 cover, is because obviously this thing was choppy. And that's part of the reason. And I know I've said it in the room a lot, I've said it to you a lot, and I'll say it again. If I can be done with a trade before 10 a.m. our time, 11 a.m. market time, I'm happy with that, because then I don't sit through all the chop, man. Like I hate that. This thing was choppy. This was a mess.
I know, man. Like when I saw this move, I almost longed it. I was like, man, I know this is gonna reclaim. It's not just gonna die. And sure enough, it did. But it was,
It's like a 20% bounce too.
yeah. And the way it pushed right there, I was like, oh. It came down and almost held VWAP for a little bit. I was like, oh man, I almost shorted it here. You know, I already had the locates. I was still at my computer. I was at the computer all day. But
Yeah.
it you know, then it died pretty hard. Uh, Still though, I mean, this isn't the way I like for a ticker to move, so I really wasn't that upset about getting all the way out of it there. Even though, I mean, you know, when you're in the moment, it's hard to always think clearly, especially when you have something halt up on you when you're in full size and you meant to stop out but you didn't.
Yep. Yeah, this was a tricky one, and it obviously all day long was tricky, choppy. This is the type of ticker that'll screw longs and shorts in the same day.
Exactly. And you know, I've cut out a lot of the longing that I used to do.
Right.
I did hit one long today on at the end of the day on GNS.
Yeah, you got that one good though. That was nice. Right at red to green.
Yeah, right. It was right at red to green, and you know, I love the RSI doesn't always work. It's sort of, you know, like we talk about the confluence things, but that RSI was way down, man. It was at like 18 or something on the 1 minute chart. You know, it has to bounce.
Right.
I've never seen one. I mean, I've seen them just get pegged and keep going, or hammered and keep going down. But I mean, I didn't nail the dead bottom, so I had something to risk off of. Anyway, another trade.
Yeah. So this was our Vlon trades. Decent start to the day, tricky start to the day, but it kind of set, for me at least, it set the precedence for the day, which, like I said, for better or worse, it is what it is. So the next trade that I took, and the reason I say Vlon kind of set the precedence, I'm not proud of this trade, man.
I'm not proud of it either. I never let one go this far against me.
Me neither. That bothers the shit out of me, but I did today, and let me get into it. But MTC, um, this one in pre-market, we were kind of considering like a gap and crap, right? Like this thing gapped up, crapped out before open, and when I see this type of pattern, I'm looking for more of a VWAP kiss and fail, or maybe a nice just above VWAP to like that whole dollar level and fail. So anyway, hit this one at VWAP, half size. Got full size right there, right above a dollar. And the reason I did that, and I'll show in a second here on the 15-minute chart, it was a nice volume level on the 15-minute chart. I'll show that in a second. And also, though, it halted here, but right before it got to the halt level, it acted like it was going to halt, and then it came down like, I don't know, 3 or 4 cents. And I thought it was going to be one of those fake halt and crash. That's what I was picturing, because we've seen that a lot. We've seen those ones that like act like it's going to halt, and then it doesn't, and then it fails. So I'm like, that's it. That's the move. Done. It wasn't done. Not even close. It halted.
Really?
And then, normally when it halts, it opens a little bit above the halt. Well, it opened. I mean, this was a 10% move, give or take, of a halt, from the halt close to open.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, all right. Well, on the 15-minute, there was a huge level at and I'll show it in a second, around 128 to 130. Huge level. So I was full size here. Full size, full transparency, just whatever. I doubled up here. And when I doubled up here, I was risking off that, and I'll show it on the 15-minute chart. I was risking off of a level. And basically, if this would have went up to 133, I had a hard stop in at 133. If it hit 133, I would have been on a max L for the day. I'd have been done trading. But we also said when this was going on, we're like, this is a China stock. This thing has a huge history of like run up, fail, run up, fail. Like as soon as it pops, it drops.
It had, yeah, great gap stats on it.
Right. In the last run up, it ran up, failed. So we even said today in chat, like this thing's gonna run up, it's gonna fail. Obviously, I was a little early, and this is why I said in Vlon it kind of set the tone for me today because I got a little wicked out on some size on Vlon, kind of messed me up here. But then again, these are decent spots to take this trade. It just anyway. So I doubled up here, and obviously it worked out. This ended up being like a pretty big win, only because I had more size and I was really comfortable. This wasn't a good trade. It worked out, but this is the type of thing. If you keep doing this, if I keep doing this, I'll take a max L, which that's why I have the max loss through Cobra to protect me from me. But this isn't something I do.
It's something I used to do.
Yeah, same. But I haven't done anything like this in a long time. I haven't taken a max loss in a long time. But I was basically 10 cents here from this entry of taking a max loss, but it worked out. But the reason I took these entries, and I want to show this other chart because it just adds some substance here and makes me sound or maybe look less dumb. Whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
all right,
man, you don't look dumb.
First entry, right there. Huge volume profile level. And this is the 15-day, 15-minute chart. So it had this other run up, and this is why we thought it was going to just go crazy and fail, because the last time it went crazy, it failed immediately. So we assumed it was going to do the same thing again, which thankfully we were right as far as that goes. But this is why I took the first entry where I took it. Right there at VWAP, huge volume level. I took it half size with the plan to get full size right here, right at that little breakout level at 105. In hindsight's always 2020. I probably should have waited to take first entry here and position and size accordingly to get full size on here.
It looks pretty sweet on that 15-minute chart, though.
It does. It does. But I could have just lied and told everybody, oh, yeah, third size, full size. But no, I was full here, doubled up here. Not proud of it. It worked out. But this is why I took the entries where I took them. And this is also why I was risking like 133, like a clear breakout of that level. And thankfully, it didn't get that far.
Yeah, it would have really sucked if it just wicked that far.
It would have, but at that point, I would have had to. Cobra would have stopped me out anyway. You know, with that max loss, I'd have got the dreaded email like buying power to zero, and you know, it would have been what it is. But it worked out.
Email a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and I mean, but you know, this is why we look at multiple time frames. We always look at the daily, the 15-minute, the hourly, the intraday, and this is why, because this whole trade largely was predicated off this previous run up and how it behaved and the gap stats and whatever. So this is why I took it where I took it. It worked out, but again, hindsight's always 2020. I'm not super proud of the trade. If I positioned myself accordingly and did do a third, then that's beautiful. But I didn't do that. But anyway, it worked out. Not something I want to make habitual. But again, when you look at it from a 15-minute time frame, it's the entries are spot on for what I do.
Oh yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's a double top.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, a huge volume level. So when it came back down and broke this, dollar level, that's where I started covering into, as you can see. And obviously it ended up going way down, but I didn't even keep lotto size because it went so far against me that I was in my head, I'm like, I'm lucky to be up the way I'm up. So I went ahead and covered. Normally I would like to keep some lotto size in for these type of moves here, but in this scenario, I didn't. And it is what it is. Trading's not always pretty, but that's how MTC worked out for me.
I think I took my first cover at at like 84, and
You got yours right.
yeah. Let's see here.
Pull that bad boy up. Because you held a piece, I think, for you the further move down, right? I think.
Yeah, I got my last cover at 77 cents.
Mm,
It went down to 70 cents. Let's see
nah,
here, and I
he missed the bottom by 7 cents. Listen to him.
man, I mean, I I try to get as much of it as I can, you know.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of those things. Like it went way against me, but that was a 20% trade. Like I think I, by the time I was done with that, it was like a 23% move. Which shit, man, I'll take 23% any day. Just don't like the way I got it.
Does this look does this look pretty clear, or is it kind of
No, it's good, good, good.
okay? Still clear.
Yep.
All right. Um, but yeah, we've been talking about I've been kind of doing that myself, like doing the little FOMO scalps and
Dude, for me,
pre-market.
it's been helping so much, and I think like,
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean,
there's a lot of ways to do this and whatever, but one of the biggest benefits for me, FOMO cure aside, is I've been liking the fact that it gets it in my position window, and then it's in my montage. So as far as adding and doing things, it's there. I got a position already, and I can use my hotkeys, and I've been liking that.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's I mean it. I've got a bunch of charts pulled up every day, and I, I like to go ahead and hit stuff in pre-market just for the fact of like the curing FOMO. I mean, I got that idea from you. Just go kind of small and
Hmm.
just try to get a couple of cents, whatever. If I can make 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever it is. I mean, that. I mean, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
buy you lunch if you want to, whatever.
I eat Chipotle way too much, but them steak burritos are life.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Um, well, I kind of had the same idea as you. I think I had gone kind of quiet when we were talking in the room at this point because I was trying to manage so much stuff at
Yeah,
once, and
yeah.
I'll get like overwhelmed a little bit and have to just back out and focus. But so yeah, right here, I hit it half size, and I mean, I was just thinking, oh, this is perfect. This is about to die right here. The the volume profile, or like we were talking about, it was right here.
Yeah, huge level and at VWAP too. Like it was such a good spot to enter in my opinion as far as confluence goes. So
Yeah, so like I'm full. I'm excuse me. I'm half size right there, but still, it skipped up so quick after that.
yep.
I mean, I didn't have a stop in, but I was planning on.
Yep. Well, we both tried to get out. We both tried to get out pre-halt, and neither one of us got executed.
I know I was hitting the market out,
Same. Yep.
and
And I didn't get executed.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. And
It'd be like that sometimes on these low float China tickers.
I'm telling you, man. And so you know, it freaked me out a little bit. And
I was sweating, dude. This was rough. Like I said, it took us on a ride. It took us
yeah, I
on a
know,
ride.
I know. Let me I'll show you. Let me switch this. Uh, hang on.
But at the end of the day, we would have lived to fight another day. This trade wasn't going to clear us out. We had max losses in play.
That's
We
right.
were good, but it was a tough one.
It was, man, and you. I like how you. I know you said you doubled down up here, but I like how you were able to hit it up there. It happened so quick. I was shocked, and I mean,
Yeah.
I was in half size. At that point, I'm like, damn, I should have stopped out. But so right after that fail right there, I know I kind of chased it, but I hit it. I got full size right here.
Yeah, but on something like that, because we talk about that. Like we don't like the chase weakness. That's just kind of our style. But on some, that's a huge sell candle with massive volume. So the odds of it reclaiming that with that much the biggest candle of the day was a sell candle.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that just and I said that today in the room. I was like, the odds of this thing reclaiming is slim to none. Like when you have that type of cell candle, you know, what I call it today, I think I called it the FU candle, like it FU
Yeah,
to the longs. Like, dude, the longs are bagged, they're screwed, and that's what that was. That was a massive FU candle. So the odds of that thing reclaiming from a data standpoint then is very much in our favor. So
and I think this had a 100% closed red on the
yeah,
gas
so when
stats.
you talk about chased it down, like, yeah, I guess, but I mean, to me, that's a good ad, actually.
Well, I appreciate it, man, and that's why you can't really tell on this chart. That's why I wanted to show that other one
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
zoomed in.
Plus, your exits are phenomenal.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I just took it off here and here. I think this was 84 cents, and this I know it was 77.21 is what I filled at. Um, yeah, I was thinking it might with the way it was selling off on low volume. I was like, man, this thing might just go red on the day, but
Damn near did.
it went just right to it. But
Yep.
also that just that low volume, man, I wanted to go ahead and get on out because I was thinking probably
Yeah.
a lot of people that shorted this today.
There was a ticker on Friday that I exited a little early because the liquidity got pretty tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't like that.
But yeah, this was a trade where Vlon kind of, I say it kind of influenced my early entries, but then when I look at this on the 15-minute, like I don't think I would have traded it any different. I would have liked to gotten out pre-halt and maybe hit it after the halt, but it is what it is. We made it work, but sometimes, you go on rides when you short a low floater China ticker, and that's what we did today. And it happens. But
Just
even if it would have
definitely not.
went, yeah,
Oh,
it's not ideal. But even if it would have went to 5, we would have gotten out. We would have been okay. Our accounts would have been fine. Like at the end of the day, we had some risk management in play, not as tight as we typically keep it, but
I mean, that's just the way it is sometimes, man. People that tell you, the lies on Twitter, like their risk management is flawless, like they're full of shit.
nobody has flawless risk management. That's why you have broker max losses, which I learned today from Marcelo that trade, or was it no? Somebody commented on one of our videos that Trade Zero does indeed have a broker max loss. That's news to me. I didn't know they did,
I
but
didn't
good on
either.
them because I think every broker should have a broker max loss, like a GTFO button. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so that's our MTC. I know you banged out tops today, and I know you got that chart. I didn't
Yeah,
trade it well. I mean, I don't have my chart ready, but I took like a 4 or 5% loss on it. I entered in right there at 2, sized in, and got out at 210. I didn't trade that well. I should have risked off a 220. Anyway, is what it is. You traded it well on the other hand, though. So I want to see yours. Mine sucks. Yours is good.
thanks, man. Yeah, it was probably my best trade of the day. Let's see here.
You top ticked tops, appropriately named.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Shit is
Uh,
sexy right there.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I'll tell you what happened here. Um, I don't know what I was.
No, well, I don't know why you entered. You probably had a reason for it. And I'm not trying to say it bad. All I will say is the risk management right there. That's tight risk management, which in my opinion is good.
Man, it was just like a FOMO entry.
Yeah, because we were talking about it at that point. We started chatting about it around 180. So we were talking about it. It was on our radar.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what it was that I was seeing. Um, but I was like, all right, I'm about to take it here. So I hit it half size, and then I'm like, okay, this was dumb. So when I saw it was at 183, and it kind of looked like it had a little topping, I was thinking it might pull back to VWAP and I could cover. But I was like, if I see 184, I'm just covering. Saw 184, covered.
That's good. At least you stuck to it.
Yeah, took the little loss, and then I set my limit orders at 208 or maybe it was 209.
I know it was right under 210 because you called that. You put that in the chat like 208, 209, somewhere in that ballpark. You called
Yeah,
that out.
risking the hold of 220, and I'll show you why.
Oh yeah, you should touch on that too because we talk about risk management, we talk about stops, and
Hmm.
we use stops and we respect risk management. But one thing we do a little different is how we manage some of our stops. So I'll let you touch on that since this is your
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I really, I mean, I know sometimes you just get wicked out, and I mean, I hit this with a good bit of size here, so for it to have, you know, broke 220 and me held it, that would have been a big old loss. I'd be getting max broker max lost out pretty quick, um, which I don't want that to happen.
right.
But the thing about it was, I I did not have a hard stop in place right off the bat because so I mean this was just a good level.
It was 220 was good, and then this picture doesn't show it, but the volume profile at 220 was massive,
Yep. And then I
massive.
mean there's two volume days or volume areas here on the daily chart
Yep,
right around that level, that area with volume, this area with volume from these prior run up days.
and
I
the
mean,
volume profile was massive on 220. Like
mhm,
confluence, a
a lot
lot
of
of
confluence.
reasons for us to be right there.
Yeah, yeah, I really liked the trade. That's why I wanted to. I mean, I know we say it's not always good to try to top tick stuff, but I knew that's where I wanted in. Um, and if it worked, it worked. If it would have broke 220 and started holding it, I would have been out.
Yeah, so
Uh,
that's something we do a little different. Like we might not set our hard stop at 220 or 221 because we want to see a break and hold of a specific level so we don't get wicked out.
I mean, and sometimes that'll bite you in the ass. It has with me, and you got to have some real discipline
You do.
to do that because if
You can
you
let it go to 230 real quick at the blink of an eye if you ain't careful.
yeah, man, I mean, you got to have your finger on the button ready to get
Right.
out. And you can use the ultimate hotkey or whatever, but I've there's been so many instances here lately that I've been just getting wicked out or stopping out, just a few cents above where my
No, I
I,
get what you're saying. Like, we talk about it a lot. Like when we take trades, we got this whole thesis in our head, and we're finding confluence and reasons to be right. So we don't want to get wicked out. Like I consider our thesis to be broken, or my thesis to be broken, when a certain level is eclipsed and held, not just eclipsed real for 2 seconds and then fails. Like I'm looking, and I put that out in the chat to everybody. Like I'm looking for a break and hold of this level, and I size accordingly for that because yeah, and sometimes it still doesn't work, but um, it just prevents us from getting wicked out, which with these type of trades can definitely happen.
oh yeah, absolutely. And
But you nailed this one. Phew.
thanks, man. And this right here, this cover, this was half. I
But to
wish I
me,
would.
that's a great cover
Uh,
because it chopped around VWAP all day, like went down above, down above, down above, down above. Like
and
I'd have been tired of it too.
this was the 1 minute 200 as well.
Yeah,
I need to start posting my or sharing my other chart with the volume profile and the RSI and 1 minute 200, all the other stuff I use. I guess that'd be more helpful, and I will do that next time. But yeah, I was pissed off because I usually will take some off at or under VWAP on a short like this, and
right,
I didn't because I thought it was going to consolidate here and go lower to the 1 minute 200 and then maybe make a little move like to here, like back to two. And then I'd feel confident to hit it again.
right.
And I was not expecting this. So at this point, when I saw it making this move, that's when I did go ahead and put my hard stop in. Um,
That was a wild
mhm.
reclaim esque. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff there.
And I went ahead and I set the hard stop at, I think it was at 218. I know that's probably not the best spot, but
Yeah, I mean, if you already the pros and cons. Like sometimes I do set a break even stop if I've already. So for me, if I set a break even stop, it's because I've already taken partial profit, and then I'll usually set a break even stop after. If I
mhm.
haven't taken partial profit, usually if I have a stop in place, it would have been higher than my initial entry where I consider the thesis to be broke. So it's not always the same. That's where the discretion comes in. But for me, if I've taken some partial profit, I usually will put in a break even stop because I'm not going to let that partial profit go away.
That yeah, that and sometimes when something like this happens and it reclaims so much and you weren't expecting it, I was thinking to myself, I'm probably not going to have the, like, I wanted this to work so bad that I'm thinking I'm not going to have the discipline to stop out. And this thing could go to 250, and so I just needed to put the stop in.
Let's see, that's somebody, I don't know who it was, and I don't know who posted the tweet. It doesn't matter, but somebody posted a tweet today about the whole psychological aspect of trading, like controlling your emotions and all that type of stuff. And basically all he said was sometimes it can be impossible to control your emotions, but if you know what your emotions will be, you can put systems in place to manage those emotions. So what you just said, like to me that's key. Like you already knew in your head that if it didn't work out, you might get a little tilted and do some stuff that you'd regret. So you knew
Exactly.
that. So then you put a stop in to prevent that from happening. So you're not always going to have perfect psychological control in these situations when you got money on the line, but you knew what your emotion might be. So you took measures to handle that ahead of time. And to me, I think that's what separates good and great or profitable and not profitable, whatever. That's
I mean,
good. I like it.
I know myself, man. I know what I'm gonna do. I
No, that's good. I think what you just said is like fucking awesome. Like that's good stuff right there.
thanks, man. I mean, you
If
know how
nobody
much.
gets anything out of this video, that right there is some good stuff. That's a gem.
Yeah, just know your own emotions. Like if you don't think you're gonna be able to, if you don't think you can handle uh stopping out on your own, then definitely put the hard stops in, no matter what.
And that's for me why if I've already taken a partial profit on a stock, I move my stop to break even so I don't lose that partial profit because there's been plenty of times in the past where if I'm green on a stock and I let it flip red, I do engage in tilt trading activities and start pushing a bunch of buttons and make that red go from small red to deep red. So again, that's more of an emotional control where I know what I've done in the past, so I'm gonna lock that partial profit in so I don't engage in tilting trading activities.
That's right, man. Tilt was always a big problem for me.
It is for everybody,
Yeah,
regardless of what you see, hear, or read.
we're all just a bunch of gamblers. Oh man. Yeah. So I took off uh third quarter here, last quarter there, which I told you I was really thinking this thing might break down. But this was the 5 minute 200 right under it was at 160 at this point.
Yeah, and at that point, I mean, you can't ask for much better on that. You pretty much rode that to the bottom.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and it went down to here.
Yeah, but that's after hours, and
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
like,
I'll hold a little piece into after hours, like I think I did on one last week. That
yeah, yeah. I did that last week. I don't even know what it was. Closed week, and I held a little piece. Swing it over.
yeah, I did that with what's it called, GNS today. I
You got some on a swing?
No, 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 no. Man, I rarely ever swing one, but it was that long. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even looking at it, and right when we in the room, you said you were like,
Tanked out of nowhere.
yeah, you were like, damn, GNS tanked out of nowhere, and I talk about RSI a lot, and
Oh, because it was so oversold.
yeah, man, and like when something like that happens, I'm not looking for the short. Like I'm thinking this is gonna bounce.
Yeah, especially GNS, man. That thing's erratic and it just won't die. It's a piece of crap company and it won't die.
I know, man. It really is. I should have taken a screenshot of that, but it doesn't matter. We've shared enough, I guess, or I
Yeah,
have.
I think so. All right, well, that's about all I got today. We're creeping up on 40 minutes. We don't like to make these too incredibly long. So that for me is my trade recap. That's all you got, right?
Yep, that's all I got.
Well, big dog. Ooh, I'm gonna be out the next couple days. Got stuff to do. Valentine's, birthday, festivities, but be back at it Thursday. But also with that, newagewallstreet.com. We started with them this month. Yes, February 1st. They've made some changes. Got some, we're incorporated fully now. They've made some changes. So now, I think it started today. If you sign up with New Age Wall Street, it's a 7-day free trial. So there's literally nothing to lose. They have us in the small cap portion. They got El Capitan as the lead options guy, who is amazing. Dude made a lot of money on options the last few years, and he is really good at it.
Yeah, he is.
So it's one of the few places where there is options, there is small caps. We do our thing every day in the chat. We do one-on-one mentoring weekly. We do all sorts of stuff, and then there is tons and tons of options material that he
You
already has in the room.
Here, you want me to show the site?
Do it.
All right, yeah. Let's see here. Does that look okay?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is the website. That's Cruise. This is
That's
beautiful.
Cap right there. He's the options king.
Yes, sir. And he's done a really good job with this website.
Yeah, like I said, it's 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, cool. If you like it, cool.
Yeah, it's I
But
mean you
Cruz,
got nothing to
Cruz does
lose.
he does live trading a
Shares the
lot,
screen and everything.
and we're trying to figure that out. We just got to figure out our monitor situation because we got wides or ultra wides and we got verticals, so we got to figure that out, which we will. But we're in the room every day. We've thought about once the thing really gets going, getting on the mic and talking through things live. But yeah, man, it's one of the few places that has options and small caps all in the same area for the same price. And I think we're pretty decent at what we do.
I think so too. I think you guys did a lot better paragraphs here than me.
You got to step up your paragraph game, bro.
I know, man. I thought I did enough. I didn't do near enough.
That's all good, but it's cool, man. Me and Sellers both do weekly calls with anybody that wants to do them. There's no cost for that. I seen something today where somebody charged like $5,000 for a mentoring session. I was like, that's such a joke. Ugh,
I know, man. That's
some gross
insane.
stuff out there, man. But anyway, we just chop it up with whoever, whenever, wherever type of thing. So we keep it pretty casual. But when it's time to do work and do business, we're about that business.
That's right. Yeah. I don't
So
ever mind talking to people, I
right.
enjoy it.
But we're in there to make money. Obviously, we ain't in there to you know do anything other than that. To be honest.
Yeah, we're trading real money too. So
Yeah. So
it,
sometimes when we're quiet, it's because we're like, making sure we ain't losing a bunch of money.
yeah, I know Cruz will be like, "What's Sellers isn't saying nothing. He must be losing." I'm like, "No, man. I'm getting halted up on."
It got skipped a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our breakdown. Like I said, we're at New Age Wall Street every day now. I'll be out the next couple days. Got shit to do, things to see. But I'll be back Thursday. You'll be there the next couple days, and then
Yeah.
yeah, man. But anyway, trade recap. It's been fun. I love it. I could talk about my trades all day, every day. And we do this every day in the room too. We do trade recap every day. And if people have questions about our trades, their trades, cool. We'll answer everything, anything. Doesn't matter. Well,
That's right.
big dog, been fun.
Oh yeah, man.
Shit,
I enjoyed
your
it.
show tomorrow. Your show tomorrow and Wednesday.
Yeah, man. I'll be making the watch list and all that good stuff. Yeah, I know you've been handling it, doing a good job with it.
I do what I can. I do what I can. But you got it. All right, big dog. Well, appreciate y'all. As always, leave us some comments. Let us know how bad we suck, how cool we are, or what we can do better. Somebody mentioned making shorter videos, like literally called shorts. We're going to look into that because we've never done that. We really don't know what we're doing. We're figuring it out as we go. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
getting better at it, but yeah, I guess there's these things called shorts. Short, sweet, to the point. We'll figure it out. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Run,
man.
run that shit the next couple days, and I'll holler at you.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.